She had built her empire from nothing, becoming a black CEO who now commanded respect in boardrooms worldwide. But on this flight, none of that mattered. To the staff, she was not a leader, not a guest of honor, just someone they thought didn't belong. When a white passenger demanded her VIP seat, the attendants didn't hesitate. They told her to move. Humiliation burned in her chest, but she stayed silent, watching. What they didn't know? Within minutes, their entire world would change. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Her name was Dana Williams, a woman who had risen against every odd. From the neighborhoods where opportunity was scarce to the corporate towers where few who looked like her sat at the top, Dana had carved a path of determination. She was the founder and CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, admired for her brilliance and grit. On this day, she wasn't traveling for business. It was a simple flight, a moment to enjoy quiet luxury after years of struggle. She had paid for her first-class ticket, taken her seat, and opened her book. For Dana, this wasn't about showing off. It was about peace, about finally being able to enjoy the fruits of her labor. But peace never lasts long when prejudice lingers nearby. Across the aisle, a small storm was already brewing, and Dana had no idea it was aimed directly at her. It began with a whisper, a sharp exchange between a passenger and a flight attendant. Dana barely noticed until the attendant approached her row, face stiff with manufactured politeness. "Ma'am," they said, "we need you to switch seats." Confused, Dana asked why. The answer chilled her. Another passenger, a white man, had requested her spot. He claimed the seat was meant for him, although his ticket clearly indicated it belonged to someone else. Instead of correcting him, the staff turned to Dana, expecting compliance. The man stood nearby, watching with an air of entitlement, tapping his boarding pass as though it were law. Dana looked around, scanning the faces of other travelers. Some avoided her eyes. Others stared, curiosity mixing with judgment. No one spoke up. The humiliation was subtle, but crushing. She was told to stand, to give up the space she had earned. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of recognition. This wasn't a mistake. It was the quiet cruelty she had endured her whole life. Now repackaged in a luxury cabin. She gathered her things, moving slowly, deliberately. Inside, her anger grew like fire. They thought she was powerless, a silent figure to be shuffled aside. They didn't know who she was or what authority she carried beyond the walls of this airplane. As she sat in a lesser seat, her mind was already racing. Justice was not far away. Minutes later, the plane doors opened, not for takeoff, but because it hadn't left the ground yet. Dana stood, calm but unshakable, and walked back down the aisle. Every passenger turned. She revealed her badge of authority, not as a traveler, but as the executive who had chartered this flight for her company's retreat. Every crew member who had dismissed her froze in silence. In that instant, their positions crumbled. Dana's voice was steady as she dismissed the entire staff from the assignment. Shock rippled through the cabin. The entitled man who had demanded her seat shrank in his chair, stripped of the power he thought he held. For the first time that day, the room belonged to Dana, and the truth of what had just happened hung heavy in the air